The livestream lights had gone dark, but her smile remained in the memories of hundreds of thousands of fans. A young, energetic streamer suddenly vanished. And just one day later, police discovered her body in a suitcase abandoned in the cold, desolate mountains. Join Crime Documentary Files as we explore today's case. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button to help us reach 100,000 subscribers. Thank you for your support. On the late afternoon of September 12, 2025, police in Incheon, South Korea received an emergency call about a missing person. The man on the other end of the line spoke in a trembling voice saying his daughter, Yoon, 25 years old, had been out of contact for over a day. Gia wasn't an ordinary girl. She was a popular TikTok streamer with over 300,000 followers, beloved by viewers for her approachable style and bright smile. Although father and daughter lived in different places, he still followed her daily through her live broadcasts. For him, seeing his daughter healthy and happy in front of the camera was his greatest comfort. Gia was also very considerate. She always carefully responded to her father's messages and had never given him cause for worry. But this time was different. The message he sent her on the afternoon of September 11th received only one reply after 7 hours. Just a cold, curt "yeah," completely unlike her usual style. The next morning, he tried calling his daughter multiple times, but her phone only rang with no answer. What made him even more anxious was that her scheduled live stream had completely disappeared. Gia didn't appear and didn't post any information. All these signs were extremely unusual, signaling something was wrong. Therefore, he decided to report it to the police immediately. When police tracked her phone signal and location data, they quickly arrived at Yongjong Island, identified as the last place Gia appeared before going missing. There, they discovered she had done a live stream on the afternoon of September 11th, and everything looked normal as always. Her bright smile, gentle voice, with no signs that tragedy was about to strike. The broadcast ended around 3 p.m., but afterward, her phone signal suddenly went silent, and no one knew where she had gone. To follow the leads, police began reviewing surveillance camera footage around the area, and just 27 minutes after the broadcast ended, at 3:27 p.m., a strange detail appeared. A white car appeared in the frame. The car stopped near where Gia was standing, and the girl walked over to briefly speak with someone inside. After a few seconds of hesitation, Gia opened the door and got in. Just minutes later, a nearby camera captured the car door flying open, with Gia apparently trying to get out, but a powerful arm from inside pulled her back. The door slammed shut with unusual force, and the car sped away from the area. The entire situation unfolded in just a few dozen seconds, but it was enough to send chills down the investigators' spines. That mysterious white car immediately became target number 1. Because the surveillance camera system on Yongjong Island couldn't cover the entire area, tracking the white car became extremely difficult. Police had to manually check every vehicle leaving the island, comparing license plates, paint colors, and travel times. The search continued throughout the night in hopes of quickly finding Gia's whereabouts. And then, around dawn the next day, their efforts were finally rewarded. From a traffic camera dozens of miles from the scene, police spotted the suspicious white car appearing on a road leading back to downtown Incheon. Following that signal, they realized that by 9 p.m. on September 11th, the car had stopped beneath a high-rise apartment building. The image of the driver stepping out of the car was captured fairly clearly by cameras. The man walked straight into the building, but they never saw Gia with him. Around 10 p.m., as police continued reviewing cameras around the apartment complex, a horrifying detail suddenly appeared. In the frame, this man dragged a large suitcase out of the elevator. The black suitcase was so large, it was nearly half his body height, seemingly terribly heavy, making each step slow and labored. He stumbled through the hallway, heading straight to the parking area, opened the trunk of the white car, used all his strength to stuff the suitcase inside, then quickly closed the trunk and left in the night. Thanks to resident records, police identified the man as Choi Mo, living alone in this apartment building. After leaving the building, GPS tracking on Choi Mo's car showed he left Incheon City, then drove along the west coast heading south. However, his journey wasn't straightforward at all. According to GPS data, throughout the trip lasting several hours, the car stopped up to 8 times, but not at rest stops or gas stations, rather at deserted stretches of road. Police determined that the car's continuous stops at remote locations, following no logical pattern, were almost certainly not coincidental. This showed the suspect's consciousness of concealment and counter-investigation was very high. They believed Choi Mo deliberately stopped multiple times to scout the terrain, finding areas sufficiently deserted, sufficiently isolated, with few cameras and little foot traffic to commit the crime, dispose of evidence, or change his original plan, while creating a confusing route to make it difficult for police to trace later. However, as the car went deep into the mountainous area around Muju County, Jeollabuk Province, the public surveillance system completely lost track. This was a hilly mountain region with sparse security cameras and many stretches without CCTV, so police couldn't determine exactly where the car stopped, what was done, or who was involved. This moment of losing track made investigators acutely aware that time was critical. They immediately developed a pessimistic hypothesis. It was very likely Jia had fallen into a life-threatening situation, and if she wasn't found within the golden window, the chance of saving her would be virtually zero. Therefore, as soon as they received information about the car's last known location, Yongin police mobilized forces, coordinated with local police, and spread out to search the entire suspected area in Muju. At dawn on September 13th, the second day after receiving the report, the search team assigned to the task pushed deep into the Daeogusan Mountain National Park area in Muju County. The winding mountain road and early morning fog limited visibility, but one of the work teams discovered something unusual: a white car sitting precariously on the roadside. Nearly half the vehicle had slid off the edge of the slope, with the rear wheels suspended in mid-air, as if it had just tried to escape from the slippery dirt road, but failed. Police immediately slowed down, shining their headlights toward the car. Right at that moment, the engine inside suddenly started. The driver apparently realized police cars were approaching and intended to flee. However, the wheels spun in place, the rear tires rotating, but the car remaining motionless. Not giving the opponent time to react, police rushed forward, surrounding the car from 2 directions. Just seconds later, the driver was restrained on the spot. Upon inspection, they discovered it was indeed an old Mercedes-Benz B-Class hatchback, completely matching the image captured by cameras. The mysterious white car that had taken Jia. Police immediately reported back to command. When a large-scale investigative team from Incheon and Jeollabuk was dispatched to the scene, a silent and tense atmosphere enveloped the entire mountain road. They quickly proceeded to search the entire car, but inside, there was no one other than the middle-aged man arrested earlier. In the driver's seat, Choi Mo, with a pale face and evasive eyes, continuously insisted he was innocent. When questioned on the spot, he claimed that on the afternoon of September 11th, after meeting Yoon Jia on Yeongjong Island, the two had a conflict related to work collaboration, then argued fiercely. According to him, Jia had left of her own accord, not telling anyone where she was going. He even appeared calm, insisting he knew nothing about her disappearance. However, police quickly realized this statement had many illogical points, because the suitcase seen on surveillance cameras had now disappeared and was nowhere in the car. This detail triggered the investigators' instincts. They believed the Daeogusan mountain area was where Jia's body had been disposed of. Without hesitation, the search team split up and spread across the mountain slope along Choi Mo's route of travel. After just a few dozen minutes of searching, about 160 feet from the arrest location, police discovered the black suitcase. Immediately after discovering the suitcase, the crime scene was completely sealed off. Under the flashing lights of police vehicles in the night forest, investigators wearing gloves slowly approached, unlocking the mud-covered black suitcase. When the lid opened, a heartbreaking scene appeared. Inside was the body of a young woman, her body curled up in a defensive position, hair disheveled, clothes wrinkled. The surrounding atmosphere suddenly became unbearably heavy. After taking photos, Collecting samples and conducting identification verification, results confirmed the victim was indeed Yoon, the 25-year-old streamer who had gone missing 2 days earlier. On her arms, neck, and legs appeared multiple bruises, clear evidence of being attacked and desperately resisting before death. The medical examiner determined the cause of death was asphyxiation from strangulation, with the time of death coinciding with the afternoon time frame of September 11th, when she was last captured on surveillance cameras. Although police forces had worked tirelessly through the night, for more than 12 consecutive hours from receiving the report to arresting the suspect, they still couldn't save Jia. After Jia's body was found and a series of evidence was collected, all of Choi Mo's denials completely collapsed. Under pressure from forensic results and interrogation, he was forced to bow his head and admit his entire criminal act. According to his confession, after killing Jia in the car, Choi Mo drove over 185 miles from Incheon to the Daegusan mountain area, intending to dispose of the body. He confessed to wandering around the mountains for a full day, searching for the perfect place to hide the suitcase. When night fell, he decided to act. However, in a state of panic and fear, the rugged mountain road caused him to steer incorrectly. The car veered off the edge of the road with half the vehicle hanging over the cliff. Just a few more inches, and it would have fallen. In desperation, Choi Mo tried everything but to no avail. Just as he was thinking about what to do, unexpectedly, the police arrived. Yoon Jia, that 25-year-old girl, was once a beautiful, bright, and energetic streamer, beloved by hundreds of thousands of people on social media. On TikTok, she had over 300,000 followers, people who every day were captivated by her pure smile, gentle voice, and positive attitude that Jia always spread through every frame. Not just a content creator, Jia also carried within her a dream of becoming a professional actress. She persistently attended many auditions, always seriously learning from each unsuccessful attempt. Whenever she saved a bit of money from her broadcasting work, she would register for acting classes, quietly investing in her future. Beyond her natural singing and dancing abilities, she stood out for her diligence and ambitious spirit, making many viewers not just love her, but also admire her. Therefore, when the terrible news about Jia spread, the entire South Korean online community was in an uproar. Thousands of fans flooded the comment section under the last video she posted to express their grief. Due to South Korea's very strict suspect rights protection laws, Choi Mo's appearance and personal information have not yet been publicly disclosed. Media can only refer to him as a 50-year-old male surnamed Choi. In reality, Choi Mo was nearly 30 years older than Jia, which further shocked public opinion when learning about the connection between the two. According to investigation results, Choi Mo and Jia met in an online broadcast room. Choi Mo was a loyal fan, continuously giving high-value gifts, gradually becoming the #1 supporter in her room. His frequent presence and generosity made Jia begin to notice him, and then the two had private contact in real life. However, the relationship that seemed to be goodwill between fan and streamer gradually turned negative. After several meetings, simmering conflicts began to appear, especially when Choi Mo displayed excessive controlling and possessive behavior. For this reason, after the case occurred, South Korean social media quickly filled with rumors and speculation about their relationship, as well as the motive for the case. To restore the truth and clear Jia's name, her family proactively allowed disclosure of their daughter's personal information and images, a brave and painful decision. They hoped that in this way, public opinion could view Jia fairly, not letting false rumors obscure who she really was. The family also actively cooperated with investigating authorities, providing all data, messages, and related evidence they had retained, helping police quickly clarify the case developments. At the same time, South Korean investigative forces also publicly disclosed many important details in the case file, from surveillance camera data, the suspect's travel route to forensic examination results. Thanks to this transparency, major media outlets began conducting in-depth investigative reports, reconstructing the entire relationship and chain of conflicts between Choi Mo and Jia more clearly. From early 2025, a user with the ID Black Cat, who was Choi Mo, began appearing frequently in Jia's live broadcast room. Initially, this name was just a generous fan like any other, but gradually, the frequency and level of his spending increased dramatically, making all other viewers take notice. In the world of South Korean live streaming, the virtual gift system isn't just a way for viewers to show appreciation, but also a measure of power. Each gift given converts to real money, and user levels increase based on total spending. The higher the level, the greater their status in the broadcast room, receiving preferential treatment from streamers, being mentioned by name, having requests fulfilled. This is a mechanism that hits the psychology of prestige and the desire for recognition, causing many people to spend excessively just to be noticed by streamers. According to the platform's system, to reach level 50, users must spend a total of 1.5 billion Korean won, equivalent to over $1 million US. And Choi Mo's Black Cat account had reached level 46, meaning he had spent at least over 1 billion won just on gifts for Jia. Some people might wonder, $1 billion won isn't that much. How can he be called the #1 supporter? But in reality, to understand the impact of that number, it needs to be placed in the practical context of the South Korean live stream market. South Korea's population is only about 50 million people, and among the tens of thousands of streamers active daily, very few can attract viewership exceeding 1,000 concurrent viewers. If a broadcast room maintains a stable viewership like that, it's already considered to have outstanding appeal and reputation. Among those thousands of viewers, having someone willing to continuously spend real money on virtual gifts is even rarer. That's why people like Choi Mo, even alone, can still shift the balance in the entire broadcast community. Every time Black Cat appeared in Jia's livestream room, the comment stream immediately erupted. He would set off virtual fireworks, give millions of won in gifts in a single session, causing his name to continuously appear on the leaderboard. Before long, Choi Mo officially became the #1 supporter, the biggest spender in Jia's broadcast room. The name Black Cat wasn't just famous in Jia's fan community, but was also known in many other broadcast rooms where he spent lavishly as well. This generosity and dense presence made Jia, originally a young woman, friendly and grateful to supporters, begin to pay special attention to him. It didn't take long before Choi Mo proactively friended Jia's personal account. Initially, between the two were only simple social conversations, but the curiosity in Choi Mo's polished exterior quickly made Jia feel somewhat reassured. When she asked about work, he smoothly introduced himself as CEO of an IT company and also operated several international travel companies. His confident manner of speaking, along with the calm and generous demeanor of a middle-aged man, made Jia easily believe she was conversing with a successful, trustworthy businessman. However, the reality was completely opposite. Choi Mo was just an ordinary salaried worker, frequently doing temporary work, without stable employment, and addicted to watching live broadcasts to the point of being unable to control himself. He threw money at streamers as a form of psychological addiction, like someone who couldn't stop even knowing they were pushing themselves to the brink. In the online world, Choi Mo tried to create the image of a successful, generous man, but behind that facade was an empty life, financial depletion, and distorted psychology. To maintain the image of a generous tycoon in broadcast rooms, Choi Mo was forced to continuously spend money giving gifts to streamers he liked. However, with unstable and inconsistent income, this soon became an unbearable financial burden. When real money sources dried up, he began turning to borrowing. Choi Mo mortgaged his real estate to borrow over 2.4 billion won with the sole purpose of continuing to spend in the virtual world, maintaining his reputation as a wealthy tycoon, respected and sought after by streamers. In his thinking, being known by many people, being mentioned by name in broadcasts was a form of spiritual success and power. But the harsh reality was, he was gradually falling into a financial spiral with no way out. With no stable income source, the loans quickly came due without ability to pay, causing Choi Mo to sink into a debt crisis. Due to overdue debts, Choi Mo's only house was about to be forcibly auctioned by the court. But instead of recognizing the consequences of his squandering, he consoled himself with a seemingly reasonable excuse. that all those expenses were a long-term investment. In Choi Mo's mind, continuously giving gifts to streamers not only helped him stand out among thousands of other viewers, but was also an opportunity to reverse the tide, opening up relationships, collaborations, or even a path to changing his life. For this reason, he began approaching streamers with the attitude of a businessman rather than a fan. He proactively connected, chatted privately, and made collaboration proposals. Not just Jia alone, Choi Mo also contacted many other streamers, painting promising visions. He could help them develop their brand, expand viewership, and create enormous income sources. To make the story more convincing, Choi Mo continued weaving lies about his status, asserting he was CEO of a large IT company with extensive business relationships and abundant resources in the entertainment industry. With a confident tone and the demeanor of someone experienced, he lured young streamers into signing work contracts together, committing to support them, promising to bring money, fame, and career opportunities. The most typical example was with Jia, where Choi Mo skillfully painted a picture full of prospects. He said that with the power of capital and professional experience, he could help her increase followers, boost viewership and online coverage so that in a short time, Jia could become a top streamer. Not stopping there, he also promised to help her expand relationships in the entertainment industry, creating conditions for her to realize her dream of becoming a professional actress, a dream Jia had pursued for many years. For a young woman striving every day to establish herself, these words were like a door leading to the future, and Jia, with sincere trust and aspiration, believed them. From the relationship between a streamer and a wealthy fan, the two gradually transitioned to business partners in real life. According to the agreement, Choi Mo would provide resources, promotional strategies, and technical support, while Jia had to share with him a certain percentage of revenue from broadcasts and collaboration contracts. However, after the exclusive contract was signed, Choi Mo gradually revealed his true face. Under the guise of manager and mentor, he began deeply interfering in Jia's work, from broadcast times, speaking manner, wardrobe, to even her daily private life. The initial concern quickly turned into control and possession, because in Choi Mo's mind, Jia was no longer a partner, but the only tool to help him escape financial crisis, a money-making machine. In the early stage of collaboration, to build absolute trust in Jia, Choi Mo skillfully orchestrated a series of proofs of success. He spent money buying fake views and interactions, causing Jia's broadcast metrics to skyrocket dramatically. On screen, viewer numbers and gifts kept jumping, all designed to make Jia believe that cooperation with her new manager was truly delivering results. Delighted with this prosperity, Jia even told her family that her account was developing well, that she had more followers, income was increasing, and work hours were more flexible. To further solidify the image of reliable partner, Choi Mo occasionally gave her luxury gifts like designer handbags, expensive perfume, or even professional livestream equipment. For a young woman full of dreams, this attention and investment made her trust even more that she had met someone who could change her life. But behind that facade of investment were cold calculations. As money sources dried up, Choi Mo began revealing his controlling nature. He arranged for Jia to broadcast densely, 4 to 5 sessions per week, each lasting from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., only allowing a half-hour break for meals. Not stopping there, Choi Mo began expanding his control over every aspect of Jia's work and life. With the reason of helping her reach more international audiences, he added midnight live stream sessions to the schedule, when most foreign viewers were active. Initially, Jia thought this was just a new strategy to increase viewership, but before long, she realized she was gradually losing freedom in her own work. Choi Mo interfered with nearly all creative content, from the duration of each broadcast, topics to discuss, how to communicate with viewers, to even what Jia had to wear, how to pose, what tone of voice to use. Everything had to follow the script he prepared in advance. If she dared change even a small detail or viewer numbers didn't meet expectations, Choi Mo would immediately change his attitude. From friendly advisor to authoritarian, hot-tempered. He continuously called, sent messages, cursed or threatened, regardless of time. Once, when Jia just sat drinking coffee with a friend for a few minutes, her phone vibrated continuously over 30 times with a series of messages from Choi Mo questioning, controlling, and reproaching. From then on, their relationship gradually became tense. From controlling work actions, Choi Mo began taking another step further, invading even Jia's private life. Using the reason of improving work efficiency, he forced her to install a location tracking app on her phone. From that moment, every step Jia took was within Choi Mo's sight. Where she went, who she met, how long she stayed, everything was monitored by him minute by minute, second by second. This suffocating mental control gradually exceeded the limits of a normal collaborative relationship. Jia no longer felt she was a free streamer, but a person trapped in an invisible cage. The dense schedules, relentless commands, along with subtle threats under the guise of concern, exhausted her more and more. The man she once considered a teacher and career guide had now become the biggest burden and nightmare in Jia's life. After many sleepless nights, on September 10th, 2025, Jia decided to terminate all collaborative relationships, completely cutting off contact with Choi Mo. Unwilling to watch all the effort and illusions he had built for so long collapse, Choi Mo decided to make a final move to hold on to Jia. On the evening of September 10th, 2025, around 7:30 p.m., he arranged to meet her in the apartment building lobby with the reason of wanting to discuss the collaboration again. Jia, though already wary, still agreed to meet to resolve everything definitively and clearly. However, that brief meeting quickly turned into a dramatic and haunting scene, entirely captured by the building's surveillance cameras. In the video footage, one can see that after a few short exchanges, Jia suddenly stepped back, her face showing panic and defensiveness. Then immediately after, the man over 50 years old suddenly dropped to his knees, kneeling right in front of the young woman, crying and begging pitifully, pleading for Jia not to terminate the contract, not to abandon him. However, Jia maintained a firm and cold attitude. She refused all pleas, clearly showing she wanted to end this toxic relationship forever. Faced with this resolute rejection, Choi Mo's emotions suddenly lost complete control. He violently snatched the phone from Jia's hand, said a few angry, threatening words, then turned and left in a rage. This meeting caused their relationship to completely shatter. The reason Choi Mo reacted so violently and lost control to this extent was because the next day, September 11th, was the final deadline for him to repay his enormous loan. If he didn't pay on time, the court would proceed with forced execution and auction all his real estate, which meant he would go bankrupt. Facing the prospect of losing everything, Choi Mo placed all blame and rage on Jia. This anger, mixed with feelings of helplessness, pushed him to the brink of crime. On the afternoon of September 11th, 2025, when Jia had just finished her live broadcast on Yeongjong Island, Incheon, Choi Mo proactively appeared before her. With a calm exterior, he pretended to want to explain all misunderstandings, possibly using the excuse of returning the phone or proposing a final conversation to mend the collaboration. But in reality, it was a trap that had been calculated beforehand. Around 3 p.m. that day, Jia got into Choi Mo's white car. Inside the confined space of the car, the dialogue between the two quickly turned into a fierce argument. Jia tried to open the door to leave, but this action was like pouring oil on the fire already burning in Choi Mo's heart. In agitation, he lunged forward, pulling Jia forcefully back, pressing her down into the seat, then stepped on the gas and sped to a deserted area with no passers-by. When the car stopped in the middle of nowhere, Choi Mo's mad rage erupted uncontrollably. He began beating Jia right in the car. Jia resisted fiercely, trying to escape from the killer's hands, but her strength gradually depleted. In that chaos, Choi Mo used both hands to tightly strangle her neck until Jia's last breath extinguished in silence. After committing the crime, Choi Mo panicked, but still tried to maintain a terrifyingly calm composure. He opened the trunk, took out a large suitcase he had prepared beforehand, then coldly placed Jia's body inside. Next, he drove straight south over 185 miles, looking for a deserted place to discard the evidence of his crime. But every journey, every stop, every stretch of road he traveled was captured by surveillance cameras, and ultimately Choi Mo had nowhere left to hide, quickly falling into the net of justice. From the process of carrying out the murder to disposing of the body, one can see Choi Mo acted with calculation and meticulousness, proving this case wasn't an impulsive act in hot anger, but a criminal plan prepared in advance. Every detail, from preparing the suitcase, choosing the timing, to driving hundreds of miles to find a place to dump the body, all showed the terrifying coldness and calculation of the perpetrator. According to investigative authorities' assessment, the desperation after facing the danger of losing his home and complete bankruptcy, combined with resentment when his plan to profit economically from Yoon collapsed, became the trigger causing Choi Mo to pour all his anger onto the innocent girl. It was both a tragedy of obsession and a crime of greed and selfishness. Currently, Choi Mo has been officially arrested and charged with murder, corpse disposal, and many other serious offenses. South Korean media also revealed that he had a criminal record, having been accused of imprisoning another female streamer in his private apartment, restricting her freedom under the guise of work collaboration. After being reported in late 2024, Choi Mo had been temporarily detained, but then shortly after reoffended with greater severity. To date, Choi Mo's trial process is still ongoing, and South Korean public opinion has not yet recovered from the shock of this case that rocked the live broadcasting industry, where the boundary between virtual affection and real obsession can lead to irreversible tragedy. The case of Yoon isn't just a personal tragedy, but also a profound warning about the dark side of the virtual world, where the boundary between admiration and obsession, between support and control, can be blurred in the blink of an eye. A young woman with dreams of becoming an actress ultimately had her life taken by the very person who claimed to be her most loyal fan. Behind the stage lights, the lavish gifts and words of praise sometimes are twisted souls seeking to possess rather than understand. And when greed, loneliness, and delusions of power combine, they can turn the online entertainment world into a stage for real crime. And that's today's case. What are your thoughts on this case? Share in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos.